Okay, perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
so here we are in Workday. We'll resume from where we left that day. Now, let me just, so what we were talking about when the entire mobile data, or I'll say my Wi-Fi or your Wi-Fi went off, was a field called lookup value as of date. So like I was explaining you that suppose you're with an organization for a span of 3 months, okay? And in that span of 3 months, maybe you have been transferred twice and moved to different teams. So suppose when you were hired, you were in ABC org and the manager of that org happened to be Mr. A. Okay. And then maybe a year after, as a part of a reshuffling of the org, you moved to a XYZ org and your manager became Mr. X. Now, as of today, you're still in XYZ org with Mr. X as manager. But what the report requirement here tells me is that give me those particular details of the person, those particular values for this particular employee, what was there on this worker's profile when they were hired. So show me which particular organization were they hired into, who happened to be their manager when they were hired into. Means, so if you run a report in Workday, okay, just a plain simple report in Workday, Workday pulls data in the report as of the report run date. So if I'm running it as of 6:35 p.m. India timing on 26th of April, all the data is being pulled as of that time. Whatever data is sitting on the worker's profile as of India timing 6:35 p.m. as of 26th of April will show up on the report until and unless mentioned otherwise. So if you have been specifically called out that, hey, I don't want to see the current data, I want to look at data as of a particular date, then yes. So I'm selecting worker as a BO here. And the function which I'm going to look at is lookup value as of date. So lookup value as of date is a function which lets you look at a particular field as of a particular date. So I'm looking at the supervisory org value as of the particular date. Now there are two things over here. Whenever you do a lookup value as of function, there will be two dates shown to you, entry date and effective date. Now, entry date is basically the day on which the value was entered in the system, means not the day on which it was effective. So suppose, Shanti, you're joining a new organization, okay? Let's assume, and your joining date is on 1st May. But since you have accepted the offer, they have created your account and they have created your profile and everything in their system as of 15th of April only. So as a part of that account creation, the supervisory org was entered as of 15th of April, okay? But in the effective date, the day on which it became effective for you, the day on which your supervisory organization actually started showing you as a member of that org was 1st of May. So that's the difference. Here, they are not saying that I want to see when was a particular value entered for the employee. We want to see since when was it effective. So I want to see a supervisory organization which was effective as of the higher date. So I'm not concerned with entry date here. I'm only concerned with the effective date here. So in the effective date field, I'm going to select the higher date. You can select any field over here. You can create your own date constants. You can create global fields, anything that you want. If you want to look at a data as of today, you can select today. If you want to look at data 1 year from now, you can create a build date field and you can add 1 year to a date field from today. And you can, anything that you want can be entered here. Understood?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So this is how we go with lookup value as of date function. This is clear to you?
Yeah.
Any questions? Now the next one is lookup hierarchy. Now lookup hierarchy is basically in Workday, a lot of things in Workday are stored as in a hierarchical format, not just organizations, but even in your what do you say, finance also, you have lots of hierarchies built up, ledger account hierarchies and everything. Hierarchy is basically nothing. There is an umbrella set under which there are multiple levels reporting to each other. You can assume it that way, okay?
Yeah.
There will be manager hierarchy and everything of that sort. So, what if your requirement is to look at a particular level of a particular hierarchy? Suppose you are trying to pull what is the third level of the hierarchy for a particular object. That is when this particular function comes into picture. Now, there are two functions related to this. We are going to talk about one only today because they're very similar. I'll just tell you what's the difference between the need. There is something called as lookup organization hierarchy and lookup hierarchy. Both serve the same need. It's just that under lookup hierarchy, you can use fields that are fields above and beyond the organization fields. Okay. And in the lookup organization hierarchy, you can only look at the hierarchical level of the organization the worker is sitting in. So suppose you have to find not just worker, anything. Suppose your journal line has cost centers, company, work tags, right? And you want to find the second level of the cost center hierarchy for to which this journal line belongs, right? So you can do that. You can look at it at a particular level using this lookup organization hierarchy. But what if the hierarchy for which you're digging deep, you're going deep down into the level is not an organization, it happens to be some other different kind of object? Then instead of using lookup organization hierarchy, we will use lookup hierarchy function. Okay, so I'm going to deal with lookup hierarchy today because the interface, everything is very similar. The only difference is in organization hierarchy, you can only use organization related fields. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to look at the second level of the location hierarchy, or let me try something on journal line today. Okay.
Hello,
Yeah. So
I
what
can
were you
hear you.
asking? If the business object says it's tag, yeah, if the business object says it's taggable,
We can use work tags, right? Like in
yeah,
case of
right.
yeah.
Anything that where the BO is taggable is for work tags.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm looking at the cost center hierarchy of the journal line BO. Cost center, actually, I'm looking at the level 3 of that. Okay, for journal line. So the source field here will be cost center hierarchy because I'm looking at the level 3 of the cost center hierarchy field. In case of organization hierarchy function, you will only see organization fields coming here. If they happen to be something like taggable and all, you can't build a lookup organization field for those particular objects. So you will have to use lookup hierarchy. Now the hierarchy type again over here is again you have to select. In Workday, there are different kinds of hierarchy types. Even though so suppose in your particular organization, the cost center hierarchy has been named as human resource, as the type has been named as human resource, or maybe your cost center hierarchy has been named as division. In that particular scenario, then yes, it's something you have to select. But here I know that in this particular tenant, cost center hierarchy is called as cost center hierarchy only, so I don't have to worry about that. I'm mapping it to the same thing. Top level node. Now you have in one particular organization there can be multiple I would say hierarchies of cost centers, or for that matter supervisory org, or for that matter companies built, okay, in order to deal with multiple different kind of business. So suppose you like yours is a medical uh, academic institution, right? You
Yeah.
work in that. So suppose to deal with different types, maybe they have one for their what do you call as a first level of MBBS, and then they have MD, right? They have different kind. So maybe they have built different kind of cost centers for each of these particular I will say diplomas or PhDs. So you might have multiple nodes, but many of the organization might just have one node, one single node, and under that particular node only they might be storing all the different levels of cost center hierarchy. Okay, so in that situation you have to figure out that which particular node you should be using in this particular case. Okay, so here I know that the top level node of the in this particular tenant, the top level node is called cost center hierarchy only, under which all the particular details are sitting. So I have to just look for that name, or let me just, oh, that is dealing with worker. Sorry, this is a journal line. I forgot. It's not the same as
So,
worker.
Preeti, for
Yeah.
example, in the sources field, we are using cost level
Hmm.
hierarchy too, right? So,
No,
for
no. I'm going to look for level three of the cost center hierarchy. I'm not using the cost center hierarchy field and using this function. I'm going to dig deeper and look for what is the level three of the cost center hierarchy.
okay,
Got it?
so when you say when you are looking for level three
Yeah.
in the top level, you have to look for level one or
Yeah. Now this is a
the
very good
before one.
question. Depends. Now depends. Suppose you are building the team for which you are building the report, they are not concerned with level 1. Okay, suppose the level starts only from level 2. Okay, they for them maybe none of the employees, none of the financial accounting companies, none of them are concerned with level 1, because maybe it's empty, no one's sitting there, it has been just put there for the purpose of the umbrella purpose. And maybe when they are saying I want to look at the level 3 of the cost center hierarchy, they are meaning the actual level 4 of the cost center hierarchy, because they don't even regard it as it has just been configured there for the sake of acting as an umbrella shield. Okay, so you clarify, you tell them to go in the tenant and show you that what is the particular, because once a worker is sitting in a particular org, they can show you which level they are. Many a times for the ease of purpose, they also name cost center hierarchies with different kind of names. Names like division, they might call the second level as sub department, they might call the fourth level as sub organization, which makes life even more easy in that case rather than calling them as level 2 or level 3. Okay, so that
Yeah.
way you can clarify if they have assigned a particular name. Usually they say level the name only. I have very few organizations I've seen, rather we have to go and figure out which level. So if they're saying I want to look at the division value, they might be saying that it has to be level, you will have to figure out that where does division sits in the umbrella, is it at level 3 or level 4, and then you have to make the decision. Okay,
Okay.
now there are three ways sorry, in which you can find this. If you are not sure about the level name, suppose they have not said division and all, then or if it's not configured at all, maybe they are not dealing with it, then you should always go with the level number with about which they are talking. So here they are talking about level 3, right? So I'm going to simply say level 3 hierarchy node assign. Now if I select this particular, then this is something that you are particularly telling Workday that I want to just pull up the very first instance that comes as of the hierarchy. So usually we don't go with this. We usually go with this level number, because either they tell you the name of the hierarchical level or they tell you the level number. Okay. Now comes returns first node if multiple nodes found. Okay. Now in so suppose this Oxford Education Service Center, suppose this is the name of the institution and this is the name of the cost center hierarchy. Maybe under Oxford Education Center, there are things like what do you call as multiple nodes. Under Oxford there might be ABC college, there might be XYZ college, and then there might be what do you call let's assume GHI. Okay, now there are three nodes under this. Now Workday doesn't know now under which node it has to return the level 3, right? It doesn't know. All they know is that they have to look at the level 3 of the cost center hierarchy. Until unless you don't go here and mention that I want to look at the ABC cost center hierarchical node, Workday is going to get confused. In that situation, if you check this checkbox, what Workday is going to do is it's going to look at ABC first because that's the first node that is configured, and then it's going to give you the level 3 of that node. Understood?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So I have usually not seen this happening. If that's the situation and that's how your tenant is configured, it's ideal you just put the top level node to be that name. If you are looking for the level 3 of the cost center hierarchy under ABC or something of that sort, you should just put the cost center hierarchy name
Yeah.
over here, okay, as a top level node. Any questions on this particular function?
Yeah. I'm good. Okay. I can understand now. Yeah.
Can I move ahead?
Yeah.
So suppose if
Paused.
you want to know who happens to be the HR partner of the worker based on the organization, or compensation partner based on the organization in which they are sitting, then this is the function we use. We use lookup organization roles to find based on a particular org in which the worker is sitting, who happens to be their HR partner, talent partner, or comp partner. Okay.
Okay. So this
This is also a function used
partner,
very much by, yeah,
yeah. So Preeti, like
yeah,
in
tell me.
this will be only work,
These are
only
security groups involved.
okay. They're saying partner in Workday. So what it actually means, like,
Yeah, these are Workday specific, Workday delivered security groups in Workday.
okay,
They are all intersection kind of security groups. So suppose you are sitting in a location hierarchy, say you happen to be a and then you happen to be sitting in a superg. Okay. So suppose you are sitting in a location and you happen to be sitting in a superg. Now there will be two talent partners sitting. One for your location hierarchy. Suppose you live in London. For London, there will be one talent partner assigned, and maybe your superg happens to be global modern services. So for global modern services, there will be another talent partner assigned. Now, how usually, and this is the responsibility of the Workday team, how they usually build these security groups is that they always ensure that within these two security groups, sitting on a different location hierarchy and sitting on a different superg hierarchy, both these security groups have a different different person a common person sitting in them. So suppose for your London talent partner, I am in London, happen to also be the talent partner. So let me just show you an example what we are trying to achieve over here. Okay, so this happens to be an employee in this system, Logan McNeil. Usually a universal employee we use for all our testing purpose. Just a heads up for you as well, because she has almost all the data fed on her.
yeah,
She happens to be that universal person which we use for our testing purpose. Okay. So let me show you now. Now, whenever you want to look at which organization a person is sitting on, go under the jobs tab and go under the organizations tab. This is where you'll be able to see all the organizations
yeah,
which. Okay, so can you see these are the list of organizations Logan has been assigned on? She has a specific company hierarchy, cost center hierarchy for her own. Like these are the basically organizations she's sitting on. Suppose I am interested in pulling the her supervisory org. I want to know who happens to be the HR partner of this super in which Logan is sitting. That is when I will use this function, what is called as lookup organization role. It basically gives you the security group of a particular organization in which a worker is sitting. Now, if you will look at Logan's profile, she's sitting on multiple kinds of org, cost center hierarchy, company hierarchy, a matrix org, a region. And it's not
okay,
necessary that each of these org types will have their security groups assigned to them. Depending on
okay,
what has been the decision taken on the project level or your organization level, a handful of them, maybe company hierarchies have their own set of security groups. So for that, supervisory org have their own set of security groups. Okay,
yeah.
so
So
this is
like
there. Yeah.
when you say organization, cost center,
Hmm.
company, and
No,
organization,
cost center, supervisory org companies, all of them fall under these are all org
organization.
types in Workday. Organization is nothing separate. All of these are org types in Workday. Collectively, they are called as organizations. Now, each a worker can sit in multiple org types. They can sit in a company hierarchy. They can be sitting in a company and so on. Okay.
Okay. Even location falls into
Yeah,
organization.
location also is a org hierarchy in Workday.
Okay.
Even location is considered that. So you have to, in order to see if your report is running the right value or not. Okay, I see. They have none of the security groups have been assigned. Only absence partner has a person sitting on them. So this is where you go. You go under the roles tab and you look for the what do you call as the relevant security group, and have to, and this is what you have to pull. You have to pull the name of the person who has been assigned the security group in that particular org. Okay, so let's, since absence partner has a role, let's find the absence partner for the workers for their super. Now this is also very important consideration to see here. Which particular org role are you looking at? Are you looking at the HR partner for superg or the HR partner for company hierarchy? Many a times if you go with this question to the client, they will be like, we don't know. Then what you have to do is you have to go and open a task called views view security group, type the name of the security group and see on what it has been built. It will automatically show you that this particular security group has been built on superg or it has been built on company hierarchy, and then you can make the decision or maybe ask the security person for that matter. Okay.
Okay. Even security groups are built on different hierarchies. Okay.
Yeah, not now I don't want to deep dive into security, but not all kind of security groups, but most of these partner ones that you're listening, which we call as role-based security groups, they are based on org types only.
Okay.
uh, all role-based security groups, all these partners and all that you're listening about, talent, HR partner, they all sit on a org type. Each of them have to sit on org type, okay? Because they are not automatically assigned to the worker. They only get assigned to the worker by the virtue of the organization in which they sit. Okay?
Yeah, like when we discussed in the beginning, like we also discussed that each data sources will have its own security groups, right? So
Yeah.
is this
That's
security?
not different.
Okay.
That's different. Now that is of course security group has lot of roles in Workday. Now which all security groups can view data for which particular data sources, that's a different. Don't mix the two things. This
Okay.
security group is basically telling that if this worker has any absence related task to perform, it should ideally route to this absence partner. If this worker has any talent related tasks, then it will route to this talent partner. Okay, that's the
Okay.
major role of.
Okay.
Now,
This
in order to
comes
perform
where,
tasks in Workday, of course, they need to view data in the system, right? So
oh,
that how they can view the data in the system comes from the domains and those data sources. Got it?
yeah, this is part of
Yeah.
business process like that.
Business process, domain, yeah, all those kind,
Okay.
both, all of that. So let me show you the name CF, and we are doing lookup org role. Sorry, and I'm looking at the absence partner for worker. Okay, and I'm looking at the absence partner for the supervisory org of the worker, not company hierarchy or not their location hierarchy. I'm looking at their supervisory orgs, absence partner. Like I said, you can only use this function for worker BO. It doesn't work on any other business object because org roles are usually assigned for workers only. So look up organization roles. Now here you can choose which particular, if it's a multi-instance field or it's a single instance field. If absence partner can be assigned to more than one person, then you will choose a multi-instance field. If absence partner only one person can be a absence partner, then it'll become a single instance field. Basically, you have to figure that out use looking at the field name. So assignable role is here absence partner. Let me see if it's, yeah, a single instance or multi-instance. Yes, it's single instance. That's why it's coming here. Had it not come here, then I would have switched this to multi-instance and then looked for it. Okay. And another important thing to note here, only role-based security groups will come here. Like compensation admin is a user-based security groups. That is not going to come here because user-based security groups do not sit on organizations. See, all admin roles are user-based security groups in Workday. All partner roles are role-based security groups in Workday. So this function can only be used to look for role-based security groups. Understood?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at absence partner of which org type. Now, if I leave this org type, if you can see org type is not mandatory, these asterisk marks basically denote if it's a mandatory field or not. If I leave it, then Workday is simply just gonna go look first instance of the absence partner and return it for the worker. But if I am specifically looking, suppose absence partner is sitting at both company hierarchy and superorg hierarchy, and I have been told specifically that I have to only pull the absence partner for the superorg hierarchy, then I will look for that superorg hierarchy, supervisory org. My organization type will become supervisory. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's how I build this field. Before I lag again, I'm just going to click on OK. Any questions on this?
No, I am good. Yeah.
Okay. Then comes, we have two more left, arithmetic calculations and count related instances. I'm going to show you that as well. Okay. So now arithmetic calculation is basically very simple. It's how you perform calculations like a normal calculations. You add, subtract, you divide, multiply, right? In Workday also you can do that. If you feel that a particular value is not stored in a particular calculated way. So suppose Workday gives you the salary of an employee always annual. I'm just giving a hypothetical situation that the salary field that you use for workers is always gives you the annual value. Okay, let me give this situation. Salary field is always annual. Now, what I have been asked is that you pull the salary of the worker uh, uh, quarterly. I want to see what is the salary this worker is receiving for each of the quarter. Okay. So now I know that in Workday I don't have any quarterly salary field, but since I know that there is a field which gives me the annual salary, you can pull the quarter salary, right? In a real time scenario, how you would do this calculation, Shravanti? Just give me an overview and we can apply the same logic to build this field. If you have the annual salary, how would you find the quarter salary of the employee? If you,
Uh,
it, yeah,
so quarter is like 4 months, right? I would divide the
correct.
annual salary
No,
by
sorry, there are 4 quarters in a year. It's 3 months long.
yeah, so three.
Yeah.
Annual salary divided by three, so that I will get
No,
one
no. Annual salary divided by
three.
4 because there are
Four.
4 quarters, right?
Okay, four
So
quarters. Sorry. Yeah.
there are two ways of doing it. Either you divide the annual salary by 12 first to get the monthly salary. Okay.
Yeah, and monthly
This
into
will give
four.
you the monthly salary and then you multiply it by
Four.
what do you say? Uh, 3
Three.
because
Okay.
there are 3 months in a quarter, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Right. There is one way of doing this is, or you can simply divide the annual salary by 4, which will give you the salary for 1 quarter. There are different ways of achieving it. Okay, so let's do this
Yeah.
and see how it looks like. Salary by 4. Okay, so let me build this field quickly for us. Now, this is where you denote what particular field are you trying to perform addition, multiplication, division, or subtraction on. So since I have worked in Workday, I know that the annual salary field is called as base pay annualized. So I'm just going to type the name of that field. I have to divide base pay annual by 12. I'm going to show you the difficult route because I want you to learn about parenthesis and all. So that's why. So I want total base pay annualized amount, which happens to, if you'll read at the description, it simply tells you that the annualized base pay for an employee's primary job. Okay. And it will give you the annual one. Now, I first want to find the monthly salary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this. These are all the operators, just like a normal calculator.
Mhm.
I'm going to divide it by a constant. Now, uh, over here, you will not select a field. You can either type constant over here and type the word, what do you call as 12, or you can simply look for the global field 12 and see if it comes here. See, it's coming here as 12. So I'm going to divide it by 12. But I want to perform one more calculation here, right? I want whatever figure is coming as a result of this particular calculation to be multiplied, right? So in
Yeah.
order to ensure that Workday perform, you know, board mass, right? How we do board mass. In
Yeah.
order to ensure that Workday performs this calculation first, the division calculation and then the multiplication, I'm going to put this under parenthesis and then I'm going to say that multiply this by 3.
Okay.
Okay. Why is this not coming? Yeah. Okay. So this is how you, if you have multiple level of calculation where doing addition, multiplication all in one, ensure that you're following the BODMAS rule, whichever value. So if I would have not put this bracket now, what Workday would have done, it would it would have ideally followed this BODMAS sequence. Basically, in BODMAS, if divide or multiply, whatever comes for it would have done that. But right now, since I'm putting it in parenthesis and BODMAS performs brackets first, that's why it's going to do the bracket calculation first and then it's going to follow the rest of the sequence. Simply how you do BODMAS, you have to follow that rule.
Yeah.
Whatever set of calculation you need Workday to perform first, put them under parenthesis and then do further set of calculations. Got it?
Yeah.
Now, one thing I want to show is that you cannot just pull, it's not necessary that you have to have a constant number to do these calculations. You can multiply and divide two fields also. So suppose if I want to find base pay divided by the bonus amount to find the ratio of the salary to bonus, I can simply type bonus over here. The only criteria here is that the fields can be either numeric or currency type fields. You have to ensure if it's an instance, if it's a text field, you cannot select it here. You have to convert them into a numeric field, then only, or a currency field, then only it's going to come up here. So arithmetic calculation works on that. So I'm going to see if there is a bonus numeric field over here. I'm going to see that. And what if I want to divide this figure further by bonus? I can select it here. Got it?
Yeah. It's a currency
So it's
field.
not just that we are doing calculations with constant numbers. You can multiply, divide, subtract two fields as well. Okay. You can select rounding format. How do you want the format to be? How do you want it to be rounded off and all those kind of things? So you can select it here. Always select return zero and error. In case if this field is empty and everything, the report is going to throw error. That's why whenever you see this option, just check this checkbox blindly, I will say. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Understood this arithmetic calculation?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Now our next function here is count related instances. And some related instances, both are very similar. So suppose in Workday, you have to count a particular set of instances based on a particular criteria. Okay. Suppose I want to count how many workers are there in a particular management level. Okay.
Okay.
I want, or maybe no, let's not do management level. How many workers are sitting in a supervisory organization type and they are of type contractor or contingent workers. So basically, I have to calculate the number of contingent workers sitting in supervisory org. Okay. So you can do all that. You can do that via calculation. Either you can do it via report. You can build a matrix report and do all that. But if you have to use this field in advanced report, then you can use a calculated field for that. So let me show you how to do that. Now, since I am finding the number of workers in an organization, my business object here will be organization, not worker. Because the umbrella in which I'm looking at the instances is organization and not workers. Okay, I
Okay.
am not looking at the number of workers is sitting in a because workers can't in-house workers, right? It's only organizations under which workers sit, right? So my business object here will be organization. I'm going to see what all BOs come up when I type organization. There might be a lot. I'm just going to select the first one because I know this is what I need. And my function here will be count related instances. Now, This is where related field. Under what kind of org type I want to calculate the number of workers? I want to calculate it under sup org. I want to see the number of workers under supervisory organization. So these are the number of field: organization as supervisory organization, superior organization, one level away. Maybe I want to see the number of workers, so, in the level 4 of the organization from the top. So you can use so many fields are already available here. Maybe I want to see the number of workers for the organization that I'm prompting for, right? So these are the number of fields you can select from here. Maybe I'm going to select organization as supervisory organization. The field allows you to drill and access related action. So since I'm only concerned with superorg, I'm going to select this. Now I don't want to see all the set of workers.
Yeah,
Actually,
only contingent workers.
Actually, I got confused. Sorry for confusing you as well. I am looking to calculate the workers in the organization. Okay. So I'm going to look at the related field as workers. Sorry. I'm looking at workers in this organization. With whatever you're calculating should become the related field. And if you look at the description, it says contains the workers in the organizations. So
Yeah.
yes, this is what I'm trying to calculate here. Now again, please remember whatever you're calculating will become your related field. What if I only want to look at active workers? Then I'm going to select this field. Okay. But right now, I'm not concerned with active workers. I'm only concerned with workers in this organization. So I'm going to select this. But I don't want to look at all the workers. I only want to look at those workers who are of type contingent worker. Okay.
Yeah.
Now in Workday, contingent worker happens to be a worker type. Okay. So now I have to put a condition here to ensure that only those workers for whom this condition is true is only being calculated here. So
Okay.
wherever there says that condition, you have to build a true and false condition. Now the true and false condition should be built on the related business object. Just like extract single instance, you have to always ensure that your condition is being built on the RBO and not on the primary BO. Okay.
Okay.
I'm sure someone would have created this field. So let me just see if someone has worker type as contingent worker, or maybe I'm sure this is a worker type contract propose, worker type contractor. Yeah, someone has already created it. Let me just look at it in a new tenant, I mean new tab, and see what this field is. You can always leverage other people's created field if you feel safe, or if you see that this field is exactly what I want, just copy it and name it as per your condition. Yes, someone has built this field. They're already looking at contractor type. So I'm just going to use this particular true and false condition. Okay. And if you'll
Yeah.
see, this field came up as an option only because it was built on worker BO. Had it been on another BO, it would have not come up over here. Okay. So this is how you count a related instance on a particular, what do you say? On a
So,
particular.
Preeti, like
Mhm.
normally we are choosing contingent worker, right? What is the need for going for worker type?
Because in Workday, there is no field as contingent worker. Na? There is no true and false condition as contingent worker. So we had to go and build a field which said that because contractors or of sorry to confuse you, this tenant has calls contingent workers as contractors. But yeah, contractors or contingent workers or employees, they all happen to be worker type in Workday. Now, if I have to build a condition that says that if worker type is equal to contractor should be true, of course, it will be a true and false condition. Had it be a Workday delivered condition, I would have not. This has to be a true and false condition to be entered here. Here, it has to be always a Boolean field. Now, in Workday, there is no Boolean field over here. So I have to build one, right? To tell Workday that only workers who satisfy this condition should come up in this count related instance. Understood?
Okay. So, like when you choose a related field, you should be choosing worker type, right?
Yeah, because that you'll understand. See, once you will start working in the reporting world, you will start understanding what is contractor, you will understand that contractor is a worker type in Workday. You will understand that employee is also worker type in Workday. You will understand that rehires are an employee type in Workday. All those dynamics you understand once you start building the report. The important aspect here is to understand is that you have to, and how you will understand, I'll tell you how that also. these informations about workers are fed on the workers job details. So if I open Logan McNeil over here, okay, and you have to find out whether Logan McNeil is a contractor or she happens to be a regular employee, then you will go under the job detail of Logan McNeil over here, and here it will tell you everything. See, her employee type is regular. Okay, if she would have been a contractor, usually the letter C will come. So you'll immediately understand that she's of type contractor. This is a hire date. So see, so suppose your stakeholder comes to you and tells me that pull me this field, pull me original hire date, pull me continuous service date. Your immediate instinct should be to do a contextual reporting. Means click on the actions, go on reporting fields and values and run a report for that and see which fields are giving these values for you. Or another way to do it is, if you want to pull this value, just type hire date in the system and see if there is a hire date delivered field in the system. If yes, which one is the one built on worker, because you're looking at the worker's
Work.
hire date. So that
Yeah.
is how you usually go about figuring out fields in Workday. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So our last function for today is sum related instances. Suppose I want to sum all the open positions in the organization in which a worker is sitting. Okay. So suppose I happen to sit in a org XYZ. So suppose I am Preeti and I sit in XYZ, sorry, XYZ org. Okay. And the requirement is that find the number of open positions in the XYZ org. Okay. Now, under this particular scenario, there are different ways you have to build this field. If you're building the report on a particular data source for which the primary BO is worker, then of course you have this field has to be built on worker BO. If it has to be built it on a particular report where the primary BO is organization, it has to be built on organization BO. Okay. So depending on what happens to your primary BO, you have to figure out a way that what should be the BO on which I should be building this field. So right now I'm trying to find the number of open positions for the SUPOG in which the what do you say the worker is sitting. So CF SRI business object here will be worker. Now this is where it is. What I'm trying to on which particular, so here if you remember in count related instance, this will be the field what you are trying to count. Okay, but here it's not like this. This will be the field what you are trying to sum over here. This is where you have to enter. So here I'm trying to find the number of positions in the what do you say in the organization in which the worker is sitting. So let me type organization here. Okay. Now all instances or instances by condition, I don't have any condition for the supervisory org. All I want to find is I want to sum the number of positions in this superorg. So see, these are the numbers and it will always be a numeric field. The fields to sum has to be a numeric field. Either we create one by creating a calculate related instances or we use a delivered field. Now I have to look at the number of positions which are open. I'm not concerned with the filled one, so I have to look at the fillable one. So let me read the description. The count of fillable positions means these positions are still open and can be filled. So this is the one that I will be using. Or if I would have to use find the sum of positions which are actually filled, I would have used position filled count. Okay. Or irrespective, if I would have to have find the total number of position in the superorg, I would have simply used that. Okay. So
Yeah.
right now I'm only concerned with open ones, so I'm going to use this field and I'm done. I click on OK. This is going to give me the total number of positions which can be counted is in the supervisory organization in which the worker is sitting. Okay. You can
Okay.
read it backwards. Okay. So this is how we build all calculated fields in Workday. There is just one or two I have left because I will teach you that when I'm building composite reports. Right now it will not make sense to you why I'm doing what I'm doing. So two of them will be taught to you when I'll be doing composite reports. Okay, look up date roll up and all those things. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So we are done. I hope you're getting time to revise these things because from tomorrow we'll be building different kind of reports, matrix, trended, search, and we'll be rigorously, I'll be doing going very fast while building fields. Those fields, those reports will have lot of calculated fields now. So I'll be going quick. So I hope you have got time to at least go back. Some of
Yeah.
the fields that I would like you to revise is this CRI, the count related instance, sum related instance, true and false conditions, extract single instance. If you can revise all of that, it'll be helpful. We'll be working very rigorously in this next 4 days on these fields. Okay.
Okay. So next 4 days we'll be building a matrix report, right?
Matrix report and trended report. If time permits, search report as well. Okay. We'll see how it
Okay.
goes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay then. Okay then, Shanti.
Yeah.
Have a
Thank you.
good day. I'll give
You
you
too.
2 minutes back. Bye bye. Yeah.
Okay then.
Bye.
Bye.